So the Maple Leafs went into St. Louis, and what a wild game.
Yeah, this game was crazy. One. This game was crazy, man.
I loved it.
It was interesting, but a little concerning at the same time because we got a trend going here, man. We have a trend going here. There's blowing a lot of loads of leads. Well, look, man, 3 out of the last 4 games now we're talking about, they have blown a lead in every fucking game. 3 out of 4. We're getting like, meatloaf territory here. Beyond meatloaf.
Last night, they blew it multiple times.
Big time. All over. They were blowing it all over the place, left and right.
Like they just couldn't hold it in. They would get it there and then blow it.
So going back to the Colorado game a week from Saturday night, like a week ago, they blow a lead, 4-1 lead, toast. The Vegas game, 3-1 lead, toast. They lost the Colorado game. They won the Vegas game. The Arizona game, throw that puppy away. St. Louis game, 3-1 lead. See you later. Like, it was back and forth all night in the St. Louis game, but you couldn't have felt at any time. Okay, the way this is not trending in the right direction as far as the letting the teams back in. Like, what would you be pinning this on right now? Just to let, like, what is it? What is the reason why? Okay, going into the what was the record? 17-0 at one point in this season, going into the third period with the lead. Now It's like that's not what happened in the St. Louis game. That lead, evaporated well before the third period. It was back and forth all night. But dude, like when they had a lead usually before the COVID pause or whatever the fuck, usually you felt like they're going to lock it down. They're going to lock it down. They might give up one, maybe, but they're going to win this game. They're going to lock it down. Now, that's not the thought process, is it?
No, it feels like they're always going to let the team back in. I don't feel comfortable with the lead right now.
No, how could you?
The trend has also been getting up early, like getting up on multiple goals early in the game. And then that I find that's more difficult than if late in the second they secure a 2-3 goal lead. But going up in the first 10 minutes, 3-1, I don't know. It seems like a recipe for there's just so much time on the clock. The other team's going to come back.
Yeah, I guess so. I don't know. Like, I mean, I'll get to Sheldon Keefe in a bit here, but I just think I don't know what it is. I can't pinpoint exactly what it is because, like I said, like they were so good previously in the season when they had leads, shutting it down. Like you felt very confident they were gonna win the game. Now, like I just said, now it's like, dude, they're up by a couple, and it's just all of a sudden the whole mindset has switched to like, okay, like they're probably gonna let them back in. It's just it's very troubling. It's concerning. I don't know what has changed, but they got to get this puppy figured out. Like, yeah, they won. They hung on and won. Barely. Jack didn't have a good night. Like that was one of his worst
when
games
you let in 5 goals on 23 shots.
Yeah, not
your best night.
No,
not your best night. But you know what? You're right. He was due for one of those. And also the Leafs were due to bail him out for a change.
Yeah.
So he was due to have a bad night and also have the Leafs score 6 goals to win him the game. Because he deserves a game like that.
No,
he's played all season. But anyway, let's get into the game.
Yeah,
it was a hot one.
I'll go through it here, but just off the top, like listen to this. So, we got a little bit of a, what do you call that? So seesaw? Is it a teeter-totter? What goes up and back and forth?
I'm pretty sure those are the same thing.
Same thing? Okay, well, it's been a while for me, man.
Teeter-totter and a seesaw? Yeah.
Teeter-totter, okay? So, look,
we had a little bit of a teeter-totter.
Okay, so this was such a weird game because it was exciting, a lot of goals, all that, but didn't love the defensive play again. And I didn't love Jack's play. I didn't think Binnington played that well either, although the Leafs ended up putting 40 shots on net. St. Louis only had 25 shots, right? That's the thing. Like you said, Campbell lets in 5 goals on fucking 25 shots, right? So the defense, though, before I get into it, like how much of that is like poor defensive play by the Toronto Maple Leafs and how much of that is just Jack had a bad night?
I think it's a little bit of both.
Both, yeah.
It's both. Jack didn't look sharp last night, but for the last little while, the Leafs core defense, which we have touted on this podcast as being so great all season, has looked a little shaky. Even Morgan Riley hasn't looked like himself. TJ Brody is still playing solid hockey, I think.
Yeah.
But yeah, just you said it. You've been riding Muzzin and Hall. Hall didn't play in the St. Louis game, but Liljegren and Sandin didn't have their best night. Defensively, offensively, they look good. I don't know. It's just a little bit of both. It's going to happen. It's also the forwards, too, are not coming back and playing great defense. They're just not playing great defense in their own end.
I agree. Okay, so sneaky fucking Ilya Mikheyev, his 5th goal of the year. No one knew it was fucking in, but it's 5-5. The Leafs score late with like 3.5 minutes left, or around the 3 minutes left. Ilya Mikheyev pops it in, short side. I have no idea how that puck went in the fucking net. No one even knew it was in. I'm surprised the ref saw it. It was kind of behind the bar at the back of the net. Did you see it go in?
Honest to God, I was watching the game like I wasn't out of the room or anything. I was staring at the TV. Didn't know it was in.
No, because it
had no idea it was in. I thought, oh, play's dead. Binnington
was down. It looked like he had it. It looked like he had it, right?
And nobody on the ice was reacting. And then all of a sudden, I look up and the Leafs are celebrating along the glass. I'm like, what just happened? Had no idea. No idea it went in.
No. So, yeah, there you go.
How did it go in?
I have no idea. It beat him short side. I just found an opening. I have no idea. It was such a fluky fucking goal.
Even watching the replay, I'm like, I still don't remember seeing the puck go in. But it went in. It was in the net.
Oh, yeah, it went in.
That's one Binnington wants back.
Oh, yeah, no doubt. So it cost him the game right there on that brutal goal. But Mikheyev, fucking hot streak continues. His 5th goal in like his 5th fucking game this season. Absolutely killing it since his return, Ilya Mikheyev. I have a little something on him later too, which I think you're really going to like. A real nice surprise about Ilya Mikheyev. But anyway, that's it. Bow tie that puppy. The Leafs beat the Blues 6-5 in regulation. And that is all she wrote for that game. An absolutely wild game in St. Louis. They finally get the first power play unit finally gets on the score sheet. The first power play unit hadn't scored in fucking forever. They were riding a hot streak while Mitch was injured. But then when Mitch came back and then the COVID break, and the first power play unit had been struggling, but Mitch gets it to Austin for that to tie it at 5. And so they get on the board. But yeah, man, I don't know. Anything else you want to add this one or?
No, I enjoyed that game. I like games like that. I like when there's 11 goals scored. I know it's not great for the goalies and things like that, but it's an exciting game to watch on a Saturday night. It's fun.
100%. So Liljegren gets his first as a Leaf. Mikheyev stays hot with his 5th goal of the season. Tavares I thought played a really good game. He scored a goal as well. Marner with a goal and assist. Matthews with a goal and assist. Bunting gets a goal. He hadn't had one in a while. And Riley with 2 assists and Pierre Engvall with 2 assists. So, Marner and Engvall return to the lineup and they both contribute.
And we should say one of Nick Ritchie's best games.
Oh, the best game all season by big, thick Nick.
His point total was the same it is in every game, but it's plus minus 0.
Yeah, for sure, man.
Great job.
Anyway, good to see Mitch and Pierre Engvall, Goose, first game back. They both contributed with 2 points. Good to see, man. The lines weren't quite where we wanted them to be. Obviously Mikheyev and Camp and Cachet is what we want that third line to look like. Can't quite get there yet because of COVID, but maybe by this time next week, that Islanders game next weekend, or maybe even the Wednesday night game against the Wednesday night game against the Rangers, we might see an actual healthy lineup for the first time in a long fucking time here. So
can't wait.
We'll see how she goes.
And then we'll see what Keefe does.
Yeah, exactly.
Especially with the defense.
Well, yeah, a good night by a bunch of dudes and a couple not so great nights by some other guys, but not going to hammer on Campbell here, even though because he's been unbelievable, but not a great night by Jack. But what are you going to do?
Not a great night, but kind of like a Grant Fuhr night because in the last, once they got the 6-5 lead, he made some banger saves in the last minute and a half. St. Louis was coming. Riley took the penalty, throwing the puck over the glass. St. Louis came hard.
Yes.
Jack stopped them.
You're right. When they had the 6-5 lead, the last 3 minutes when St. Louis was coming, you're right. Jack Campbell, a couple of huge, big kick saves. He did. He made some big saves at the end of that game to
So
keep it
a lot like a 80s Oilers game.
big time. Yeah,
You
you're
know,
100% right.
Grant Fuhr making the big saves to win that 7-6 game. So
Yeah, 100%
that's what
right.
he did.
So 6-5 Leafs over the Blues, and they will move on. The month-long road trip continues, and they will be playing the New York Rangers on Wednesday night.
Hey everyone, Dale here. Thank you very much for watching the video. Please like, comment, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. While you're here, why don't you take a look around at some of our other videos? And if you want to listen to the audio version of our podcast, we are available on all podcast platforms. You can check in the description below. And if you want to support the podcast, you can do so by going to our Patreon page, and you can find a link to that as well. The Tip In Maple Leafs Podcast.